In Zambia, the conversation around infertility is rarely had out loud. It is carried in silence, in shame, in marriages strained by pressure no one talks about, in women who blame themselves for something that was never their fault. Today's guest is changing that. One conversation, one procedure, and one life at a time. Lumeta Ngalande is Zambia's first embryologist. She sits at the frontier of reproductive medicine in this country, helping women and couples navigate one of the most emotionally complex journeys a human being can experience. She's not just a scientist, she is a pioneer. And in a country where IVF and alternative fertilization methods are still misunderstood, stigmatized, and out of reach for many, the work she does is quietly revolutionary. In this conversation, we go beyond the science. We talk about what it means to be the first, to walk in a space that didn't exist before you arrived. We talk about infertility as a woman's health issue, a leadership issue, and a human rights issue. And we talk about what it takes to hold other people's hope in your hands every single day. This is Unshaken Feathers, and I'm your host, Mundia. Lumeta, welcome to Unshaken Feathers.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for making time to speak with us. Lumeta, the first Zambian embryologist.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. That's a big title. That's a big responsibility. Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Well, I think I haven't really dwelled on it. I think it's more in the recent weeks or months where I've just thought, okay, actually, I'm the first Zambian embryologist, but it's fulfilling. I think naturally you think it would be a lot of pressure, but I mean, I did say I work well under pressure on my CV, so hey, it's quite exciting.
They're like, this is the one.
Yeah, but it's quite exciting, I guess, and I just hope to create change and just fulfill different people's hopes through this journey as well.
Oh, amazing. Is this something that you've always wanted to do? Did you know I'm going to be an embryologist, which is quite specific?
All right. Funny enough, no. I actually grew up thinking I would love to be a doctor, a medical doctor. But I think it's a background story thinking, okay, what would I want to specialize in? So I think those are conversations I had even with my cousin because she wanted to study medicine as well. And at the time, well, I still love children, but I think because I love children, we thought, okay, let's say pediatrics, right? Okay, cool. But then even with that, I was like, fine, I love children, but let me just say, I don't think I was convicted. I wasn't convinced that this is what I want to do, but I carried along with it because what else? I mean, we only know a few specialties in medicine. But I think with time, there was a show that I came across on, I think it was National Geographic. It was called In the Womb. I was so fascinated by it. So this show, or was it a documentary, just highlights what happens between conception and just before the baby is born. So it just shows you how the baby develops and everything. I was so fascinated by that, and everybody at home would just think, what is
wrong with this lady?
Yes. So I think at the time, I didn't really think it had anything to do with maybe my passion or interest. It was just like, watching a movie or whatever, so I just enjoyed it. But I think with that, I realized, okay, I think I love this. So what can I study to maybe, as I study medicine, what can I specialize in to work with babies, I guess? And I think the only thing at the time was gynecology and obstetrics, which is one specialty, I think. But for me, I didn't want to do gynecology. I didn't want to be up there, keeping the reproductive system of the women. But funny enough, when I, with most of my male friends, would say, okay, growing up, I wanted to be a gynecologist because, you have a chance to.
Oh, my
days. But yeah, that wasn't for me. So I thought, okay, I guess I'll just be an obstetrician. We'll just get through the gynecology somehow, but that's what I'll focus on. But then with time, I think just with that curiosity as well, watching that documentary and just reading, I thought, okay, where do babies actually come from? This question we always ask ourselves or when we're young. And that led me to actually Google what the study of making babies is, right? And that's when I saw the word embryology, and I was just like, oh, okay, all right.
So it's actually a thing.
Yeah, and I think I read more about it, and that's how I ended up in this, in this field, because I had never heard of it. So I guess, yeah, that's really how I came across it, and I never thought of it even before.
So medicine was always your thing. It's just the speciality that you
Yes.
really found
Yes.
over the course of time.
Yes.
It is quite a specialized field. And while you were navigating it, obviously studying for it, did you at any point feel any kind of doubt about choosing this path or even being in this field, specific field of embryology?
Um, Not necessarily. I think even the time period between when I discovered it and how I even ended up in it was quite short, not long enough for me to really ponder on it and think, okay, is this it or not? But I wouldn't say so. Because I think one would also think maybe because at the time I was living in South Africa, of course, I hadn't heard of embryology or what you can do or you can work aside, maybe from the articles, the research I had done it was mostly common in Europe, the US, and stuff like that. So I don't know why, but I never thought, okay, so where am I going to work, So I think with that, I was just so excited to do it. I didn't think of anything like that. So I don't think there was any doubt in a sense. I think it was more about, okay, where can I actually study for this? Like I mentioned, being in South Africa, even at the time, I think only now, but at the time, there are not many schools that offered the course. So maybe that's where, should I say, some form of doubt or
Okay.
why you could, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I really had doubt in a sense.
No, I hear you. So did you finish your studies in South Africa? Or you went somewhere else, didn't you?
Yes, yes, yes. So in South Africa, that's where I did public health.
Okay.
And after that, I now did my master's in embryology in Scotland. Yes, I completed. It was actually the best time of my life. I think my favorite day so far is my graduation day when I graduated with
I love that.
my master's. Yes, yes.
Oh, amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Honestly, this path has really led you to being the first.
Yeah.
Not just the first, but the first woman as well, which makes me extra happy. When you were studying this, did you have fears of, obviously you've done your research and you've looked at what embryology, working within embryology is like in Zambia. Did you think, oh, I'm not going to find my feet, or I'm not going to have mentors maybe that I'm going to be able to look up to seek advice from? Of course, there were embryologists, but not specifically Zambian, and obviously, Zambian women.
I think that's the thing, I never thought, none of these things really crossed my mind. I think
that's also great because, when things cross your mind too much, you get in your head. So that is also good.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't think any of that crossed my mind. In fact, at the time that I decided or was planning towards studying a course, I don't think there was even a clinic or a facility in Zambia offering it. So
really?
For me,
wow.
Yeah, I really didn't put much thought into it, honestly, because it could have gone sideways. I think the only thing is, at the time that I thought, okay, this is what I want to do, it just so happened that my mom was also reading some magazines, because she's an avid reader. She loves magazines. So she would read some magazines, and she came across an article of an embryologist in South Africa. I think at that time it must have been Women's Month or something, but the focus was on women in different fields. So she got that article, and that also helps. So I was like, oh, okay, there are actually places in South Africa where I might work. I didn't think I'll struggle. I just thought I'll get this degree, I'm getting a job, and it's all good. So at least I had an idea that I'll either go back to South Africa and work, or at least get some training, or even in the UK, because there are many facilities there in the UK or in the US. So at least I didn't really think, okay, I can come back to Zambia. That was even really there. It was only when I was actually in Scotland during my studies that I think the first IVF clinic in Zambia opened. That's Osaka IVF. And mom actually shared the link with me. I was like, oh, okay,
Your
cool.
mom, you need to
I
give
know,
her
right?
a lot of credit, because I'm hearing mom.
That's true. She's been a great support system. Yeah, so she sent me that link, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is where I could try it. And yeah, but I think it was more about excitement and just focusing on what I want to do, and we'll see what happens when we get there. I don't think it ever crossed my mind to think like what's going to happen or any fear, anything like that.
Do you know what I love about this journey that you're talking about is that you just followed your passion.
Yeah.
And, people talk about it, and I know it sounds so cliche about just
Follow
do
your
what you
passion, yeah,
like, and
yeah.
you know, life will find
Yeah.
you, or you
Love
know,
your job.
love your job. But you know, not everyone has the luxury or the
True.
luck to be able to work in something that they're actually passionate about.
That's
So
true.
you were like, I'm not worried about the job. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
We'll see
go
what
and
happens.
see what happens. I love
That
that for you.
happens. Yeah.
No,
Thank
because
you.
at least
Thank
you're
you.
staying true to what it is that you love
Love. Yeah. True.
doing. Um, Infertility is a subject that is it's become better in terms of openness, people speaking a little bit more openly about it. But I think we still have a few challenges, not just in Zambia, but on the continent
Yeah.
as
True.
a whole.
True.
I think we definitely have taken steps
Some steps.
forward.
Yeah.
What do you think? Before I even ask that, I believe it's 1 in 6 people globally that are going to
Affected.
be affected
Yeah.
by infertility at some stage in their lives, which works out at about 17.5%. So I
Somewhere
looked
there.
at, yes, those statistics, and I was like, wow, that's quite a lot of
It
people.
is. It is.
So for something to affect that many people, it's not spoken as
It's not.
widely as it should be spoken about. I think it's changed in different regions in the world.
Yeah.
Africa is changing, but it's still like a hush hush subject. Why do you think that is?
I think in itself, just being a health issue, and already with health issues, most people would not want to disclose
That's right.
regardless. And I think with infertility, there comes shame and people feeling as if it maybe defines their worth. When you have conversations or you hear things such as, when someone has a baby, it's like, oh, now you're a woman, now you're a man. So I think such conversations and such comments make people shy away from actually, disclosing their maybe not having children. And with that, it exists, infertility exists, but then it's not spoken about because not many people who are dealing with it talk about it. And I think also the lack of facilities
Yeah.
or the lack of information in itself about it being an issue. So I think that already creates that silence. Not everybody is freely open to talk about it. And even the people who should be talking about it, or maybe people who you expect to receive support from, are putting pressure on you, have a child when they're having a baby. So it becomes a difficult place to either talk about it so there's information or not.
Yes.
I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, no, it does. It
Yeah.
does fully. And also, an issue that a huge misconception is that infertility affects women
Oh yeah, yeah.
completely
Yeah,
more than
definitely.
men, when it actually
It doesn't.
it
It
affects
really
women and
doesn't.
men in almost equal measure.
That's true. That's true.
Again, why do you think that? Because a lot of women, like you said, carry the shame, the stigma, and they almost feel like I am the one to be blamed. I'm not woman enough. I don't belong. And I think that has a lot of weight when it comes to cultural expectations as well.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to kind of shift from that kind of narrative that we have built?
Over the years. First of all, yes, definitely, like you said, it's not just a women's issue. It can affect men. I think even in some situations, you might find that the cause of infertility may just be something to do with the male factors and not even the female factors. But yeah, so I think what could be done really is putting out the information out there, education, awareness, and in that way, at least, even those who are dealing with it would be able to speak about it openly, and those who may be the ones asking when they're having a baby, when they're conceiving, at least would be aware of maybe the effects of being in such a situation. And that's why I'm so passionate about raising awareness,
Yes,
and educating people on infertility. And that's really also one of my biggest goals or plans right now, to do that. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing to do. If people do not know about it, obviously, how are they able to address it? So the main thing really is awareness, education on infertility, that it exists, who it affects, and that it can be treated. It doesn't mean that just because you've been trying for a long time, or maybe it just hasn't happened when you expected it to, or when you thought it would happen, it can still happen. Infertility doesn't mean you never have a child. Like, there's always hope. there are so many treatment pathways and management options available.
Absolutely. Just to dig a little bit deeper on this, um, another assumption or misconception that people have is if you have infertility issues, the only way is IVF.
Okay. Yeah.
Please tell us a little bit more about that.
Definitely not. Obviously, IVF is one of the options that are easily available, but there are different ways that you can treat or manage infertility, obviously depending on what the cause is. So that's why it's important to at least go to a medical practitioner to get your tests done, checkups and everything. In that way, at least you'll be guided on what you need to do. In some cases, it might just be change in lifestyle, you know, or surgery after, maybe if you have fibroids, after surgery. With that, it can help once they remove the fibroids if they need to. With that, you can even conceive naturally after that. So IVF is not the only way that you can get treated infertility. It's just amongst the options. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good obviously to get informed on the various treatment methods and see and know why you're being treated using this particular method. Yeah.
Absolutely. And another thing that I wanted to bring up is the age factor.
Oh, yeah. The biological clock.
There is a biological
Yeah.
clock for sure, but another misconception is also that infertility only affects older people.
Yeah.
But we're seeing increasingly, even now, I'm not sure if it's increasingly or it's just because we have more access to news, instant news also. It's not an age thing. Even young people can be affected by infertility problems.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the misconception is, well, at least by the time you're 30, it's a wrap. So you're so scared to even turn 30. Yeah. Like, you're 30. No, you don't even want to reach there. But yeah, I mean, I think also the fact that we have access to more information obviously sheds more light on, it's not just people above 30 and above. It can also affect people younger than 30. But I think also over the years, different factors, for example, the food that we eat, or everything that we're exposed to has changed.
Yes.
And maybe that's why you may find that there's a higher number of people who are younger who are affected by infertility. Nonetheless, I think you need to repeat that question.
No, that's fine.
But anyway, or the age stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes. So even with women, you can be affected when you're less than 30 or even above 30. Even men, actually, men can be affected. It's not just, I think there's also a huge misconception that men can have children at whatever age, even 90. No, 90, it's okay. Men can have a child.
I mean, they can, but can we talk about the quality
of
the sperm, please?
Exactly. I was getting to that. So they might be able to produce, semen, because I think another thing is people just think because there's semen, that's sperm, but those are two different things. The semen is actually just the liquid, and there are cases where you might not even find sperm in the semen. Right, so you can be 90, a 90-year-old man, you can produce the semen, but it might be not the sperm or the quality of the sperm. So over time, even with men, and it's been found, there's actually research on that, quite a number of studies, the quality of the sperm declines due to obviously maybe just age, lifestyle factors,
which
or
makes sense.
Yeah, and also there's a thing called sperm DNA, so that's what carries the genetic information that's needed to at least contribute half to the baby, because the other half comes from the woman, to develop a healthy embryo, which essentially becomes the baby. So as you age, obviously various factors affect that. So the biological clock is not just a woman's thing, actually. Can also affect men. But you're never too old. Even young people can be affected. As young as 22 also. Obviously working in this field, I've been exposed to eggs of people at least even between the age of 20 all the way to 40 plus. And there are cases where someone above 30 has eggs that even look in a better quality or better health than someone younger than that. So, it really just depends. That's why lifestyle factors really...
It really matters.
It really matters, yeah.
It really matters. Oh, absolutely. And particularly with the food that we eat, because a lot of stuff is so processed now. There's so many products
GMOs,
that have been, GMOs that have been added, and all of that can affect.
Yeah.
And I know we have a very big drinking culture.
Oh, yes, that too.
I think that is something, drinking, smoking, all of these things can affect the quality of both the sperm and the eggs, right?
It could definitely can.
I feel like I'm going back to my biology
I know, right?
class, and I'm like,
Little
oh my
crash
gosh, I'm
course.
having flashbacks. I love
least
my
you can
biology
remember.
teacher. Well, no, well, can I? You know, I thought I was so good at biology,
Yeah?
and that was like my worst mark.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
What
and
happened?
I don't know. I just
Okay.
loved it, but clearly I was just not good enough.
Oh well.
Because when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna be a
Ooh.
pediatrician.
So I found each other.
Yeah,
I took that.
no, but it was never in the cards for me.
Yeah.
When I saw that biology mark,
like,
I was
nah,
like,
nah,
yeah,
nah.
maybe
Forget
not.
that.
Maybe I'm gonna be killing people, so
You're doing
probably
well. You're shouldn't
doing
doing
that. Thank you. So when it comes, this is a very heavy subject area, right? Because you're dealing with people's hope, as we keep saying,
Yeah.
hopes and dreams that can be shattered in the matter of one test result, right?
Exactly.
How do you deal with the fact that your patients, do you call them patients?
Yeah, patients, clients.
Your patients or clients come in and they're literally saying, here are all my hopes and dreams. How do you deal with that? Because it's a heavy
It really
responsibility.
Is. It really is the pressure.
It's pressure, yeah.
Well, also, I think another thing is, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, embryologists are usually behind the scenes. So we don't really get, first-hand access to clients. Clients probably meet us at the end. But anyway.
Do some clients request to see you?
Yes, but probably after maybe they've had an embryo transfer, they just want to know about the embryos.
Okay.
It's not usually common. But I mean, I still get the context and where all of that may be coming from. I would say it is quite heavy. It's a huge role, but I think it's all about remembering what the client is carrying and what they want. Obviously, they have so many expectations, and for some reason, it just feels as if, okay, because you're the embryologist, you're the one who's making my baby, so you better make sure this embryo is perfect and that I get pregnant. So there's that should I say, pressure that they instill in saying you are the one doing this. You're literally creating the baby. But I think it's more about just being an active listener, because also as they are going through this, in most cases, they may not have many people to talk to.
That's right.
Yeah, may not have many people to talk to. And I think the fact that they're putting so much trust in the clinical team or the scientific team to make this happen, they've been waiting for who knows how long, some for a year, less than a year, or more than a year. So there's now this hope. And in as much as obviously you may say, okay, with everything, you must leave room for disappointment, but then this is probably their only hope at this point, and they want it to work. And I don't think they even want to think that it won't work. So I think it's just handling it with grace and just listening and making sure they're informed. I think it's also about honesty and to speak to them
realistically.
Realistically, to at least get them prepared that it may or may not work, but obviously you have to say it in a way that offers some form of support, emotional support. It's a very sensitive area, like you mentioned. So I think it's mostly just carrying it with grace and trying to put yourself in their shoes and just listening to them and being there as much as you can, right? Just making sure you don't crash the hope, but also
that's right. It's like a balance because I guess your work is like full of it's quite precise.
Yes.
But you have to have that emotional intelligence to go with it. A balance,
yeah,
really.
It has to be a balance.
It's like
somehow.
Life has to be balanced somehow.
True.
In terms of access to treatment, and I don't mean just IVF, because people just think it's infertility, IVF.
Straight
up.
It doesn't
necessarily. And I mean, sometimes it's literally just small changes, like you say. Sometimes it could be some small medical intervention. Sometimes it's just medication that you take. So it's not always IVF.
No, not always.
But when we do talk about IVF specifically and access to IVF, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world. Of course, in some parts of the world, it's cheaper than others. But it's not cheap for your average person, because we talked about the statistic 1 in 6 people are affected by it. meaning it also
Anybody.
doesn't discriminate in
Yeah,
terms
it
of the
doesn't.
income bracket,
No,
right?
it doesn't.
It doesn't matter what your
You
income
do,
is,
where you
it could
stay.
affect
Yeah,
it could
true.
affect you. That's another misconception as well,
Yeah,
right?
true, true. No.
What can you tell us about access? Now we're going to talk specifically about Zambia. Is it accessible? Is it affordable? I can already answer that. No, it's not affordable. Not
Well,
easy.
it's subjective, but
Is it? Okay, fine. You
yeah.
can tell us. Okay, how about you answer that? Is it affordable and accessible? First of all, because I'm having my ideas
Yeah.
already, so please correct me.
In terms of accessibility, I think I'll just say it like this: we don't have many facilities offering the service as
Right.
yet, but at least we have some. Yeah, I think we have at least two or so. But I think with time, those numbers will increase. But it's there. At least there's a place you can go to if you need the service. In terms of affordability, I think, like I said, it's really subjective. Um, it obviously is on the pricey side. It's not something that you can easily just wake up and say, okay, I'm going to do it.
do
It's
this.
not as easy as just going to buy, some tomatoes. You probably need to save up or, try all sorts of, reach out to certain avenues just to afford it. I mean, for some that may be easy. For some it may take a bit longer, and obviously sacrificing maybe getting a loan or even selling assets, But yeah, but I think it's possible to afford IVF. I think it is possible. It is possible. It may not be as affordable as many would want it to be, or compared to other health treatments, but it's possible to afford it, if I should put it that way.
Okay. I hear what you're saying, and you're right. For some people, it might be a overnight decision, sure. However, I think for the majority of
Yeah.
Zambians,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
they would not be able to
No, they
afford
would
it.
not be. Not easily.
Not easily afford
I
it.
don't think I can even afford it.
There you go.
Yeah.
What do you think the role of, for example, even the government, policies, health infrastructure, like what do you think needs to be done to be able to make it more accessible, more affordable? We've talked about about two places you could go to right now. I mean, two compared to the population
Oh,
is
yeah,
not that
isn't it?
much,
Yeah,
but it's
true,
a step
true.
forward.
It's a step
Yeah,
forward,
we
at
can't
least,
take
yeah.
that away from Zambia. But what do you need? What do you think needs to be done?
Needs to be done. I think first off, obviously, is education. People need to make informed decisions. I think there are some people, even with the two facilities or the ones that we have, don't know about it, or at least, even if they do, they're not willing or eager to visit those places, obviously because of the stigma and, other factors. So I think we need to start there, implementing policies that make it easy to access these facilities or just the different services that can assist those who need it. And it would be nice to at least have maybe a facility that offers IVF, maybe in every province, every district, or at least if there can also be a way that probably the government can maybe even work with other facilities to create, is it some form of funding for those who need it, and I think maybe that would be a good step to take to make it easily accessible and affordable for those who need it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I remember driving past one of the clinics
Oh yeah.
for the first time some few years ago now, and I was so shocked because
See
it's
it, yeah.
something that you just don't see.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it made me very happy.
Yeah, true.
And what would you say in terms of encouraging people to learn more about their sexual and reproductive rights, access to that, even just getting information? I know you talked about education, but how do we encourage people from a young age to really understand that these issues are issues that need to be taken seriously right from the beginning, and to have that awareness? Like what do you think could be done to improve that?
To improve that. Well, aside the government, as we spoke about earlier, I think also in schools, because that's where, most children start. That's the foundation. There's a way that it can be incorporated in, I think, is it sex education or biology classes, or even extracurricular activities where you have, for example, you have the science club. There could be maybe I don't know if it's a biological, I don't know, you know. And then also in workplaces, because obviously these children would have parents who work or, you know, in various settings. So I think if you have maybe some form of wellness program that makes infertility an easy subject to discuss, I think you could start there. So the topic becomes an easy subject to discuss. You know, even those dealing with it can easily talk about it and share their experiences. Those who may not be dealing with it or maybe know somebody who is, or even don't know somebody who is, would know how that it exists, how to deal with it, or just to be able to take precaution in terms of how they talk about it and make certain comments. Yeah, so I think that's also where it can be, where we can start. I mean, there are also platforms like I mentioned. I offer at least education awareness programs or just guidance and support counsel in this area. So I have pages for that. So there's that, and I'm sure there are also various people who tackle it. We can also have campaigns through the government or even private institutions, and I think even churches as well, especially during premarital counseling, because I think there are people who just feel, no, we'll deal with childbearing once we get married, you know, but it's the conversations that should be started early, even before marriage. What will happen if we are faced with this issue? You know, I think it makes it easier, at least it makes it a bit easier to tackle when you have this information, as opposed to when you just land into the marriage, whatever situation, and now you have to figure out what to do. Because it can strain even relationships and marriages as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That's really important, and I love that you've touched on the importance of having open discussions
Yeah.
with different parties, whether it's at school, whether it's with parents, with
anyway.
anywhere, and even within society as a whole,
yeah.
to make it more acceptable. I say this because infertility issues, and especially when we talk about IVF specifically, if you have to go through that process, it really sits at the intersection of not just biology, it sits at the intersection of ethics, it sits at the intersection of faith and all of that. So like, and obviously Zambia as a Christian nation, you know, it's a sensitive topic.
It really is. It really is.
But I think even sensitive topics that bring in issues of beliefs, religion, are things that we need to talk about publicly. We do not always have to agree, but we have to at least take the brave step of talking about issues that affect so many people, 1 in 6 people. I keep coming back to that statistic because it's a huge statistic.
It is. It really is. It really is. It really is.
When you think of a room full of people and you're thinking of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
It really is.
So given that it sits at such an intersection that cuts across different areas, how do you navigate that professionally and personally? I know it's your job, but I also know it's your passion.
Yeah.
So obviously you must have a lot of feelings about it. So like, what do you think, like, how have you been able to navigate basically?
I think so far as having an open mind, obviously people would have various opinions, whether they're for it or against it. So I think it's having that in mind. And with that, it kind of gives some form of guidance on how to approach, let's say, questions or comments, depending on what the person's beliefs may be or their values and, you know, all of that stuff. So in as much as it's my profession or my passion and all of that, I think that's where the main thing is, you know. But in so doing, I think, again, it really is about information and education. Yeah. So if somebody may have some misinformed opinions, could always just try and educate them, or at least inform them in a way that does not make them feel judged or make them feel some type of way, or like you're just trying to defend what you're doing, you know, because obviously there might be that thing of, no, this is what you're doing, obviously you defend it, but it's not that. But I think in everything there's also honesty and integrity, as you know, you speak to different people. So I think for me it's really just that, it's just standing on what my beliefs are, my values. Obviously, even as I chose this profession, I would like to believe I made, a wise decision based on not going to something that's illegal, you know. So I know what it's about, I know what it does, and I think it would be nice if everybody at least also could see it from that view. We are not, it's not a sin as everybody may think that IVF is a sin or you're playing God, infertility is just, you know, a curse or, it's, you are bewitched or something like that, all those things. So I think, I think it's just about that, having an open mind, even as you speak to people or listen to various things, you just see where they're coming from and try to address depending on who they are and what they're thinking.
Yeah, this issue of it's a curse. I mean, it's a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you have people going to all kinds of witch doctors
Yeah.
because no, your grandfather did something in the village, and come on.
Yeah, and you start side eyeing your granny if she looked at you in a certain way, or that aunt, you're like, but why did she look at me that way? She's the one, that kind of thing. So
not she's the one.
So yeah, there's all of that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's a tough world to navigate, I suppose. I know you said you're not necessarily the first point of contact, but you do get contact with people who do come to see you, whether they're coming alone or with their partners. Do people come often with partners? Do you feel like there's like that support? Even for those who come alone, like what's this? I'm interested to find out what support system these individuals or couples have.
I mean, there are some who would come with their partners, but then there are also some who don't. So I think even you see it everywhere, even just asides maybe in Zambia, it's just a thing that's known, because I think already the fact that maybe the blame is on women, they even probably even if the partner is around or is willing, there's just that thing of let me take it upon myself. I do not want to maybe put the burden on this person because you think, okay, it's me, I'm carrying it. Let me do it all by myself. So yeah, there's that. In terms of emotional support, so yeah, we touched the partners and everything, but I think facilities that offer the services obviously try their best to provide emotional support in as much as they can, from the reception area all the way to the last person you probably see at these facilities. There's some form of comfort that you may receive. I would like to believe at least there's that. Obviously, we need more. We need emotional support in the sense of, even if you go to a church, that should be there. If you're at home or you speak to your sister or family member, even at work, that should be there. And yeah, so I think even for me, that's why I'm also passionate about offering emotional support through fertility counseling, through even the education and just what I'm trying to build as well. But I think there's a huge need for that, because I think also we just may focus more on the treatment. You want the baby, let's give you the baby, forgetting that infertility also plays a huge role on your emotions. It's such an emotional journey. There's fatigue, there's even just the stress of, let's say, for example, even if you're undergoing IVF, there's a financial strain, even in your marriage or relationship that might be affected. Family, you're now isolated because, this person doesn't know, or you're scared that someone might ask you and you don't know what to say, even at work, or you see somebody who's pregnant and that could easily trigger, there's just various angles. But emotional support is really important.
It's really important, and I love how you're taking a very holistic approach. First it was, I like that program, I'm interested in it, I don't really care if I'm going to get a job. And then now that you're deep into it, you're even thinking about other aspects as well. And I think in Zambia there's definitely room for more support, wellness centers that people can go to freely without any shame. I mean, I know that even mental health is such a big issue worldwide. In Zambia specifically, we're seeing mental health cases on the rise generally. So you can imagine when you're going through something like this, infertility issues. There's definitely a massive gap.
Even for the men, actually, because obviously there's a thing, oh no, it's just for women. So maybe there's a bit more focus on, the women, the woman, whereas the men just hide in a little corner and they can't really even voice out. It's obviously for the woman, it's bad enough, but now you can imagine for the man, because now how would you now deal with my
Yeah.
infertility?
Exactly.
What do you say?
Yeah, exactly. Because as much as there's that stigma of if you don't have a child or are unable to conceive, you're not woman enough.
Yeah.
For the man also,
It's like,
if you flip it the other way, it's also an
it's
issue.
something else, yeah. Because the
I think,
expectation is that the man should be able to,
yes,
so.
it's so sad because, you're really placing human value on issues that might not be their fault.
Yeah.
It just
Truly isn't really
biology.
their fault, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we have lots of business ventures to discuss.
I know, right?
Has there been any moment when you have dealt with a patient or client that has broken you, that you were so invested in that you were like, oh, I cannot take this, I need a break for your own mental
Yeah.
health?
Does it mean in terms of like, let me
Maybe
take a break from work? Or
No, take a break from the emotional
Emotional
heaviness
aspect,
that
okay.
comes with it.
Well,
Because it's 50-50, well, it's not even 50, it's not 100%.
It's not. It definitely isn't. IVF is actually not 100%. I think with any treatment, really,
Yes.
whether it's, even with infertility, it's not 100%. It's very difficult to just pick one because every story is different. And I think even as you get to know the story, even though I may not see the client face to face, but you know of the story, I think just knowing that there's hope, that someone is carrying and somehow it's passed on to you because you want to really help that hope, be fulfilled. It's very difficult to say there's one. There are so many. I think just the fact that you also want it to work, right?
Absolutely.
And then you follow through the case and it doesn't, or maybe there's a positive pregnancy test and they miscarry. For some, even far into the pregnancy, just maybe a few weeks to delivery or at delivery,
No.
they're just also heartbreaking. Actually, it's very difficult to say, okay, that was this one, that's on. I think almost every case that probably doesn't go as you hoped it would. And I think even for some, just being in the IVF lab as an embryologist, just from the point where you receive the eggs and maybe there are no eggs or there's no sperm or the embryo doesn't develop, all of that is just, it's quite shattering.
How do you deal with that?
I think for me, already with the fact that I know it's not 100%, you kind of
have some kind of reservation already from the
yeah.
jump.
Yeah,
Okay.
but even with that, obviously it affects you in a certain way, but I think there's that and just saying, okay, just hoping for the best and knowing that even if this has happened, maybe it hasn't worked now, there's still hope. It can always, there's always a way we can navigate it and there's a chance that it could work eventually.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think also just taking the time out, I guess, to do what I enjoy.
What do you enjoy doing? Lumeta, I feel so heavy with this topic right now. It's not to say it's not, it's very important.
Yeah.
But what do you do
What
to
do
come
I
out
do?
of it? Because I feel like I was going deep into
the work. Let's come out now.
Let's come out for some air.
Well, first of all, I'm a curious person. So with that, I love adventure. I love trying out different things, trying out different foods, so different restaurants, different activities. I like to think I have a creative side in a way. So I'm into making skincare products. So getting
Really?
creative, yeah.
Oh, this is all coming together.
Right?
I can see it. Embryology, wellness center with the skincare products. I love this.
All of that. What is
So
it?
do you actually experiment with different, actually making?
Yeah.
Really?
Soaps.
Oh, that's so cool.
Candles here and there. Body products, basically, the body butters, things like that. So if there's any, I think I may be weird in a sense. I mean, I'm doing embryology, so anything that just stands out that doesn't look, very much touched on. That's where I want to be. If the people are going this way, I want to go
the other
that
way.
side.
No, that's good. That's good. We need people like you in
Yeah.
life, so that when you go that way, we can also start following you.
Yeah. So basically that. Obviously, there's spending time with family, friends, and also working on my relationship with the Lord, things like that. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. When you say different activities, like what kind of stuff?
So I think of late we have a lot of creative workshops. So tried out the painting, candle making as well. Even I've also attended workshops where you can perfume making, soap making.
Okay.
There might be, what can I call them? There's soul sessions, even music sessions, quiz nights, game nights. Yeah, things like
You're
that.
doing everything.
I'm doing everything.
You're doing everything.
Doing everything.
Okay.
Yeah, movies, music. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really
You
good to do
sing?
that. Ish, no, don't make me try.
Do you do karaoke? No?
I've done
No?
it in the past. I've done it
Are you a
in the
good
past.
singer?
Ish, I don't know. We'll try. I'm not sure.
That's right. We're in a studio. They do music here
I know,
too.
right?
So
Just do everything. Might as well go
I
into
heard you
acting.
asking them, Mama, are you dropping an album?
You never know. I might rap. Who knows?
Oh.
But yeah.
You're surprising us. Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. And what would you say? You spoke about relationship with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about family. Are those what keep you grounded? Because here at Unshaken Feathers, it's about what anchors us, drives us. So what anchors you?
Yeah, there's family, my loved ones, the Lord definitely. So I think that's kind of encompasses my values, my beliefs, the kind of lifestyle that I want. And also at the center of that is definitely the Lord and also helping people. So yeah, I think I would say that.
I think it looks like you're in the right place.
Am I?
Yeah. I mean, you're helping a lot of people. You are the first in Zambia as a Zambian. Are there more
As Zambians?
embryologists?
Well, as far as I know, well, I work with a fellow embryologist, but he's not from Zambia. So I guess, and I think with the other facility, I don't know if there are any Zambian embryologists. So yeah,
The first.
guess
I
I'm
love
the
that.
first, or whatever. But anyway, yeah.
No,
am.
don't whatever. It's huge.
Right?
It's huge.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because people coming after you are going to look to you,
Oh,
as a Zambian woman in this field. I mean, you're going to...
Leading the way.
Leading the way. You said you wanted to go the other way,
Right?
didn't you? And
Yeah.
then you did exactly
True,
that.
true.
What advice would you give young girls and women who have watched this episode and said, I think I like that actually. Let me pursue my studies or a career in this.
Embryology.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's good to get informed. So do your research and make sure this is really something you'd want to do. It's not just about making babies. There are different layers to it. There's the emotional aspect, emotional intelligence, as we just discussed, and various things. So I think just with any career, it's best to be informed. But I mean, the field is wide open. It's wide open. I'm waiting for people to join. So I think if it's something that obviously you're passionate about, and especially when it comes to helping people, it shouldn't be about the money. I think another misconception is that you make so much money getting paid in dollars or whatever it is.
Are you sure?
Well, my boss might be watching this, but anyway,
all right, you can tell me later.
But definitely, I think it's an interesting field. It's extremely exciting, and it's definitely open to various people, and the women or anybody willing to do it should definitely jump on board. Definitely follow your passion, follow your dreams, or whatever it may be, really. But in this field, it is extremely exciting. It's fulfilling. It really is. So I'd really encourage anybody who wants to take that step to really take it.
And come to you.
Yeah, come to me first.
Come to the first.
Yes, come to the first Zambian embryologist.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you say to women and men about what you think they should know about their bodies, not just their bodies, but their reproductive health, and where to seek help? I know we've talked about all the support that they can have, but what would you say to encourage people to not shun away from seeking that information and just having the courage to know that it's a normal, it's not
A taboo.
It's not a taboo. It's not the end of the world. It's there are solutions.
I think also just what we've spoken about here, we can start there. And also, like you mentioned, it's not a taboo. It exists, obviously, but there is help. There are ways that it can be treated or managed. It's not the end of the world, definitely. But I think also it's important to just get your regular checkups, to just know what's happening in your body. Do not shy away from having your semen checked, even for women, hormone tests and various things. I mean, I think even just with any other health issue, just anything, you might be scared because you don't know what's,
that's the thing.
on the other end, what the result may be. But I think it's better to know. At least it helps you tackle the issue if there's a need to. I think that's the first step to take. Get checked and also take care of yourself. We've mentioned lifestyle. Mind what you eat. I mean, it doesn't mean you just have to eat green vegetables every day. You can have your
Too
favorite
much on
snack.
anything of anything is bad for you anyway.
Yeah, but mostly at least just be mindful of what you consume. Focus on also rest. I think most of us are just trying to chase the bag, and we want to work late and all of that, but that affects our bodies in various ways. So I think also being mindful of that, managing our stress. I think we downplay what we expose ourselves to and what effect it has on our bodies. We just think, oh no, just a late night today, it's okay, I'll catch up. But in that
you can
moment,
never catch up.
You know
how people talk about catching up? Oh, I'll catch up with sleep.
Yeah,
you can't catch
you
up with
really
sleep.
can't. You really can't. So, but then in that moment, that little window can have a huge effect on your body in various ways, even on your fertility, Yeah, so I think it's just focusing on taking care of yourself, protecting your peace as well. I mean, obviously, there are people who have their own opinions, especially if you're trying to conceive. If you need to cut off people who are disturbing your peace, yeah, just go for it. Just go for it. But I'll definitely encourage getting your regular checkups. That really is essential, because even when you have infertility or whatever it may be, there is
a misconception that stress will aggravate your fertility. Is that true?
Well, not the stress itself, but I think it's what it does. So there's the hormone related to stress, and that hormone obviously interferes with the other hormones, like your reproductive hormones that are needed to maybe maintain your sperm or your egg. So it kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah, that's why it's good to at least manage your stress. Yeah. I think I was saying something, but I forgot.
I'm so sorry.
No, but it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, basically, I think it's really about that.
Guarding your peace.
Yeah, guarding your peace.
Cutting people off.
Cut them off. Choose yourself.
Choose yourself. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Lumeta, are you working on exciting projects that you would like to share with us?
Yes. I think I've tried to throw in here and there. Obviously, there's focusing more on education and raising awareness on infertility. So there's that. People need guidance on how to make informed decisions regarding their fertility, how to improve their chances of conceiving, or even if they're considering other alternative methods for fertility treatment, such as IVF, there's always a place you can come to ask all the questions you need, all the questions you can think of, and as well as also just through fertility counseling, so support, emotional support, if you just need somebody to talk to, and also wellness services. So you just don't have to go through rigorous processes of just talking, but there's spa treatments that can help you manage your stress, help you with your skincare, and just various things that can, help you navigate this journey, I guess. Yeah.
And where can people find you? I know that you're doing something exciting.
Yeah.
You don't have to share right now, but where can people find you so that when you do that thing that you're going to do?
Yeah. Well, I think I would always share my contacts with you and my pages, so at least that can be in the information box, and they can always reach me out through that.
Okay, wonderful. Lumeta, I love when I see young people who have been so sure of their journey from the beginning for whatever. No, you have. You followed your passion, is what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's not common to find your passion quickly, early in life, but you found that, and that's That's amazing. I'm so happy
Thank
for you.
Thank you.
And as a fellow Zambian
Yeah.
sister, I am
Yeah.
so proud
Thank you so much.
that you are leading the way in the world of embryology. You are giving hope to men and women who have big hopes and dreams. You are also opening up conversations that are usually quite taboo in our society, and helping to, inform people that actually it's okay, we can talk about it. This is something that we face 1 out of 6, 1 out of 6.
No, 1 out of 6. Don't forget that.
I think everyone is going to know now,
Like
1 out of 6 are affected by fertility issues. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do, who you're going to become, and how you're going to shape the world of medicine. What would you love to leave behind as a legacy? 20 years from now, reproductive health, reproductive medicine, where would you like to see Zambia? What stage would you like to see Zambia at?
I think definitely having more facilities that address reproductive health issues, sexual and reproductive health issues, including infertility. At least if we can have that, please, to the government, every province or every district.
The government.
Right. Yeah, I think with that, and also I think more information on and awareness on infertility and various reproductive health issues, as well as I think with everything that I'm trying to do is to reduce infertility-related stigma. I would really love to see that drop, if possible, none at all. But it would be nice to get to a point where people can openly speak about.
Yeah, be free.
Yeah, be free, and even those who receive the information, handle it with grace. Yeah. I think that's what I'd love to see. And obviously, more embryologists.
More embryologists. And as you being the mentor of or the mentees. And you, where are you going to be in 20 years?
Wow. I don't even know what I'm doing after this. But anyway, I think it's in line with just what I just spoke about, I would love to probably have a wellness center or facility that anybody can easily and freely walk into. We spoke about affordability. That's obviously affordable to most people or everybody who needs the services, where can have open conversations and receive all the emotional support that they need. And just, continue being adventurous. Travel, I don't know how many countries I want to go to, probably travel the world, but there are various things that I'm excited. There's some things I don't even know about, but I feel like I have so many ideas. I have so many ideas. My loved ones are always just like, Ish, you have so many ideas. So I hope by then.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
At least you can choose instead of,
So I hope by then I'll have achieved most of them,
Wow, we can't wait to see where Lumeta is going to be in 20 years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making time to speak with us, with me today.
Thank you for having me.
And I've learned so much from you. And like I told you earlier, this was one of the conversations I was very excited about, just because it's something that affects us all in one way or another.
True.
We know someone who is going through, or even, people watching now. I'm sure a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, I wish, I had that information. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And do come back. I tell every guest to come back. Please come back,
definitely.
so that you can tell us about, once you've launched some of the exciting things. By the way, I've noticed you've kind of been quite low-key about it. So I'm going to respect that and just, give out your information. But I wish you all the best in all your future endeavors, and keep being that that star, Zambian star in the world of embryology for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to be here. I think it's my first podcast, so I
Is
guess
it?
in 20 years' time I should be on many podcasts, even on this one. And I hope it's also been, exciting for you. You said you were excited before. I hope it's still,
yes,
you feel
absolutely.
that way for the people who are watching. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. All the best as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.